What is up, y'all? Today we have the Hyundai Ioniq 6 Limited, and thank you so much to All-Star Hyundai of Pittsburgh for letting me review this Hyundai Ioniq 6 Limited. I've asked so many dealerships to review their cars. They all say no, but not Hyundai of All-Star of Pittsburgh, so let's get into it. All right, let's talk about the design of this vehicle. I am obsessed with this design. I think it looks really good. I love the Hyundai Ioniq 5's design, and I love the Ioniq 6 design. Honestly, this looks like the Kabutops Pokemon to me, the front of it. I'll show that on the screen. And here's what's cool. Obviously, you get LED headlight standard. I don't think these are adaptive. These LED turn signals, you get the amber turn signals. And then honestly, all this gloss black, this doesn't have the grille, but I like that they added these lines. I feel like this is the perfect thing to do because sometimes car manufacturers that are electric or make electric cars, they don't add a grille. And then the front, I feel like it looks kind of like weird, but I really like the front of this. It looks like these, oh, you do get some real functional vents right there. And here's what's interesting, look. Do you guys see I'm actually like sticking my finger in there? So these two are actually holes right here. Oh my God, I'm on like 15% right now. I really hope my phone doesn't die. Here's another thing that I find really interesting are these wheels. These wheels were actually the wheels you got on the pre-refresh Hyundai Santa Fe that came out in like 2018 and 2019. I think it's kind of weird that they came out with the refresh Santa Fe and got rid of these wheels and then they brought them back for the Ioniq 6. Because I remember when this car debuted, I thought these wheels looked wrong on the car because I remembered them on the Santa Fe. I'm like, it seems lazy, but actually now seeing them on the car, I think it looks better on this car than the Santa Fe. Here's another thing that's interesting though, is you get all the pixels in the turn signals in the mirror. I think that's really cool. And then if you oh, the car's on, so I can't show you, but I'll show you guys in a second. And just looking at the overall like stance of this vehicle, it kind of is an aggressive stance, and I feel like this kind of reminds me of a Porsche. And I'll show you guys why. This spoiler right here is really nice. And that's what really reminds me of a Porsche. Porsches have that spoiler and the whole light bar that goes across the back right there. That is what also reminds me of a Porsche. And here's what I think is really cool is I love the clear taillights. Thank you, Hyundai, for bringing clear taillights back. I've always liked them, although they kind of never went away. But I also like the transparency you get right here where it says Ioniq 6, and it's transparent up here, so that's pretty cool. This car looks very futuristic. I love all these lines right here. And on the back, honestly, I just love how the whole bumper looks. Everything about this car, I just love the whole Ioniq lineup, the Ioniq 5, the Ioniq 6. I think Hyundai did a really good job designing them, and I think it's interesting they put these little like lines right there. It's just like the little details, like all the pixels and the vertical lines that just make this vehicle so much interesting. I have to give props to Hyundai with this design. All right, guys, I'm going to try to get in the back here and see if you could carry some bodies in the trunk. Honestly, this would be hard to fit a body back here, to be honest. This is actually a pretty small trunk. But here's what I like is, one, you get metal lining around the trunk button. They didn't even need to do that, but it's a nice attention to detail. But if you press this, it closes the trunk and locks it. That's something I said in the Mazda CX-30 review and the Mazda 3 review that I love, and I like that Hyundai's doing that. Let's show you guys the charge port though. Pressing this. Oh well, it's not opening for some reason. Oh, it's because the car is locked. Duh. Let's open it up. And here's what's really cool is this shows you, okay, it's raining, so let's cover this a little bit, even though I bet you that doesn't do anything. This shows you how much battery you have left. And if you press this, it closes it for you. That's so nice. Let's show you guys the key. I love how this key is the Hyundai logo, and I like all these blue buttons. That looks cool. Let's show you guys the remote start and the remote parking assist. Hope my phone doesn't die. I'm on literally like 8% right now. Good thing this car has a wireless charger, so I'm about to charge that inside. Okay, it's on. Now let's do the remote park assist. Are you gonna move? This one seems not as eager to move as the Ioniq 5. Like, you have to hold it for a little bit longer. Oh, here it goes. Come on. And watch. Little kid running behind it. all the rain's getting my camera, but you can see it stops for you. Here's another thing that's cool is when you walk up to the car, look, I'm not pressing any buttons, it unlocks itself for you. And if you press this button right here, it locks and unlocks the vehicle. I think that's really cool. The door handles pop up. I don't know how I feel about that because that's just another thing to break. And I feel like it's kind of, I mean, I guess it's an EV, so it's kind of nice that they have the door handles that pop out because I guess it makes it a little bit more aerodynamic. But I feel like that's just another thing to break, and it's kind of just like a gimmick. All right, we are in the Ioniq 6 Limited, and let's show you some of the features you get. Oh, I was talking about the remote park assist. That comes on the limited model only, so you have to get the highest model to get that. And then these seats. These are, I think, either a fake leather or a leather seat. I'll put that on the screen. I know in the Ioniq 5, it's a fake leather. These seats are really comfy, and they feel really nice. And then you get 8-way power front seats with 2-way power lumbar. So you actually get power lumbar on the passenger side. I really like that. I think this is the first Hyundai vehicle. Actually, no, it's not, because I know some of the luxury ones, like the Equus, had passenger adjustable lumbar, but most Hyundais don't come with passenger adjustable lumbar, but this one does. It's only 2-way. You get 2-person memory right here, and if you want a power passenger seat, you have to go for the highest model to get that. Same with Let's Start the Car. This also has heated and cool seats. This is really nice that it's an EV and it has heated and cool seats, because a lot of EVs don't give you cool seats. And if you press this button right here, it brings you right to the cool seats. If you want the cool seats, you have to go for the highest model. But heated seats come standard on every model, so that's something really nice. What else is really nice is this ambient LED lighting. I'm going a little bit faster right now, but it's because my phone's going to die, so we don't want it to die. You get this ambient lighting right here, and it's 64 color like Mercedes, so that's what I really like. And you can even change the ambient lighting to sorry, I was wanting you guys to hear the keyboard clicks. You can even change the ambient lighting to drive mode, or if you're going faster, I guess it'll make the lighting a different color. That's pretty cool. Here's something that's not cool though, is there's no heads-up display, and that's something you got in that Ioniq 5. Honestly, between the two, I think I will go for the Ioniq 5. Going through Hyundai's infotainment, I love Hyundai's infotainment. I think they actually have one of the best infotainments in the business. There's so much to do, and there's so much settings to adjust. Like with the drive mode, there's so much driver assistance. Like literally you get rear cross traffic braking standards, so if somebody is driving behind you, it'll brake for you. And then another thing you get is this thing where if like somebody's about to I guess T-bone you, where is it? It's like right over here somewhere. If somebody is about to T-bone you, I think it will brake for you. So seat forward and side safety. I don't know many other vehicles that have that. Obviously some luxury vehicles probably have that, but not many of the mainstream vehicles have that. So Hyundai is really giving you a lot of features. Another feature you get is Hyundai's blind spot view assist. I love this feature, and I think a lot more manufacturers need to do it. Let's talk about this gauge cluster though. This is obviously the same gauge clusters you get in the Hyundai Ioniq 5. I'm not really a fan of it. You could just like, I don't know, I like more traditional gauges more. There's not really much to do in it. It's a good gauge cluster though, with like information and stuff. I'm just not like, I don't know, I don't like it that much how it looks, but you could flip through the drive modes right here and it'll change it a little bit. So that's kind of cool how you could change it. But I wish it just had some more like circle looking gauges with just some needles. You guys know what I mean? Like some tachometers, even if it is digital. Another thing is you get these 4 dots right here, which is kind of cool. And you get these regenerative braking paddles, which feel really nice. Ooh. And when you go through the drive modes, the dots change color. Although they don't stay that color, which I wish they stayed that color. I think that would be pretty cool. Let's talk about the materials though. Here's where I'm kind of disappointed. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 has dark green door panel right here and it's soft. This is a hard material. And that wouldn't be that bad, but this vehicle is like $55,000. I'd expect a little bit nicer materials. This is kind of interesting. It's like some interesting texture. It's soft, but I kind of like it. You're like, where are the window controls and the mirror controls? Mirror controls are right here. You do get power folding mirrors, and the window controls are down here, which is kind of interesting. One thing I don't like is you don't get one-touch windows for all 4. At this price point, I think it needs to have that. But I do like the windows and the lock button being right here. And you can put your phone right here, which is really nice. Opening this up, look at, you got 2 USB-C charging ports, and you got a big storage area down there. And you got a wireless charger right here, which I need to use right now because I'm on 5%. I don't know how I'm going to get through the driving review if I don't charge it soon. Get a USB right here. So you get 3 USBs in the front. And if you open this up, you get a little storage tray right here. And you get a huge storage back there. And you guys are probably like, what are these little wing things for here? In other markets, you won't have mirrors. You'll just have cameras. And this is where they'll display like what's in your mirror. Honestly, I'm not really a fan of how these look, but it's kind of interesting that Hyundai's always trying to do new tech, and I think it's kind of cool that they're trying that out. You also get rain sensing wipers, and I think you have to go for the limited model to get that. And what I really like is if you when you turn them on, it shows you in the screen. And look, when you get the wireless charger, when your phone is charging in the corner, it says it. Another thing is you get a sunroof that opens and closes. It's raining right now, so I'm not going to open it. I'll just open the sunshade for you guys. It's a power sunshade. But I like how you get an opening closing sunroof because the Ioniq 5, it doesn't open. However, the Ioniq 5, the glass roof goes all the way to the back. And then up here, these buttons are really satisfying to press. And you get LED lighting right here, and obviously these right here light up. But I really like how these buttons feel. That's something I said in my Mazda CX-30 and my Mazda 3 reviews. The buttons are really satisfying to press, and these buttons are similar like that. Here's another thing that's really cool is with the charge port. If you press this, when I press the button, oh, that was the trunk button. Oops. Let's press it again. Good thing that this has a power trunk. Oh, it's not closing. Wow. Am I going to have to get out and close the trunk?
It like wants to go down and it's like...
I guess you have to hold it the entire time. You don't just press it. Anyways, when you press the charge button, the charge door opens and you could close it. I think that's really nice. I love that feature. That's probably one of my favorite features. What else is cool? This is kind of soft. It's a little bit soft, not barely, but I like this material. It's interesting. But look at all this area down here. I think it's really cool. And this is some gray color. It's kind of interesting. You get so much area though to put stuff down here. That's what's nice about electric cars. They have a lot more storage because you don't have as much like complex stuff to be going through. Let's talk about this Bose sound system though. Honestly, I'm not really a fan at all. The Bose sound system in the Hyundai Ioniq 5 is so much better. It has a lot more bass. This sound system doesn't really have much bass at all. It's actually kind of disappointing. Although the sound quality is good and it gets loud. So it's not like the worst. But honestly, Mazdas have way better Bose sound systems. And the Hyundai Ioniq 5 has a way better Bose sound system. Even the Hyundai Sonata N-Line I reviewed had a way better Bose sound system. So I don't know what they were doing when they made this one. Alright, looking at the back seat of the Hyundai Ioniq 6, honestly, I'm kind of impressed with the back seat. Mostly with all the little, like this little spot to put your phone. I love that. You can put it over here. You can put it over here. You do get ambient light in the back. And it's down here. Also, you get a cup holder right here. This is a soft area. This kind of No heated rear seats, though. That's what really disappoints me because so many other Hyundai vehicles at cheaper price points have heated rear seats. I don't know why this one doesn't. You do get one touch... Or no, you don't. You don't get one-touch windows in the rear, though. That's another thing that I think they need to add at this price point. But I guess they're saving that for Genesis, so you can't have everything. That's one thing. When car brands have a luxury brand, they always shaft some of the models for the non-luxury brands. That's what I like about Mazda. Since they don't have a luxury brand, they don't really shaft you with features. Obviously, you get rear air vents. No tri-zone automatic climate control. I guess you don't really expect that, but I know the Mark 8 Golf has tri-zone, or the GTI has tri-zone automatic climate control, which is a hatchback. So a bigger sedan like this, I kind of feel like maybe they could have added that, but honestly, that's a little bit nitpicky. You do get 2 USB-C charging ports right here, which is really nice, and I don't know why freaking the lighting keeps making my hand look terrible. And then look at this. I could put my phone right here, and you get a completely flat floor. That's so nice, you guys. Completely flat floor. And these seats, they're so comfortable. And I really like this leather. I think this is fake leather. This feels like the synthetic leather that's in the Ioniq 5. I don't know why this would be real leather and the Ioniq 5 would be synthetic. So I'm pretty sure this is synthetic. But it feels like real leather. I cannot complain. You get 2 cup holders right here. And honestly, this back seat is pretty decent. I just wish it had some heated rear seats. All right, y'all, let's open up the hood, the front, whatever it's called. Let's see. Oh, and look at that. You get a frunk. So this is the perfect spot to put my notes. And I guess this is all you get down here. But I really like how you get a frunk. I'm pretty sure the Ioniq 5 doesn't have a frunk. I'll have to go rewatch my review and see. But I like how you get a frunk in this one. So what is powering this beast of an engine? You get an electric motor. I forgot how many kilowatts, but honestly, what even is a kilowatt? It's an electric thing. But this is the rear wheel drive model, not the all wheel drive model. And let's go through the specs. So the base model SE rear wheel drive, you get 361 miles of range, 225 horsepower, and 258 pound-feet of torque. Actually, all rear wheel drive models will give you 225 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. So this one will give you that much. Then if you go for the SEL rear wheel drive, you get 305 miles of range versus 361 miles. And then if you get the all-wheel drive on the SE, you still have the same power figures, but you get 316 miles of range. So this is kind of confusing. And then if you get the all-wheel drive, which this one is not, you get 270 miles of range. Oh, that's for the SEL and the Limited, not the SE. So if you get the SEL and Limited all-wheel drive, you get 270 miles of range with 320 horsepower and 446 pound-feet of torque. So that's actually a lot of horsepower and torque. Maybe not that much horsepower, but it's a decent amount of torque. Charging time with the standard charger at home, it's going to take 7 hours to charge. With the level 2 charger, it's going to take 73 minutes. And if you got a fast charger, it'll charge from 0 to 80% in 18 minutes. That's really quick. One thing I forgot to say also is this car is front and rear parking sensor standard, and that's something you had to go for the limited model, the Ioniq 5, to get. All right, y'all. Driving the Hyundai Ioniq 6 Limited. Now this has the weird shifter right there, if you guys can see. Don't judge my voice because I changed. So there's a setting where you could make the vehicle have like fake engine noise, and I turned it to the loudest setting, and it's kind of annoying me, so I might turn it down. That's why it's sounding like this. But we're in the rear wheel drive model, so we have a little bit more range. I think we have 317 miles of range. Well, not anymore, but we have less horsepower. So we got 225 horsepower, and I think it was 258 pound-feet of torque. And driving along, the first thing I noticed is how smooth this vehicle is, and that's something I noticed with the Hyundai Ioniq 5 also, and I really like that. That's something I like about electric vehicles and hybrid cars, is they're always really smooth. Like just everything, you don't have any vibrations anywhere. And I'm not even pressing the brakes, and it like slows down for me. Now I know this has regenerative braking, so we're gonna try it in a second. But first, I always like going a little bit on sport mode when we turn right on here. So let's switch the drive mode into sport, or maybe should I try out the custom drive mode? There's actually a custom drive mode, and let's see where we could go to. Oh, enable while driving. Well, let's make sure no one's behind me. Nobody's behind me, so I could look for. Here it is. So we're in custom drive mode. I think we should be. Let's turn right.
Sounds like I'm going through a wind tunnel.
It does. I have the iPedal on right now. Let's race this Ultima. See, and this isn't even the all-wheel drive model. This has less power, and this does not feel sluggish at all. 225 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. Maybe because the electric vehicle, you don't have to go through gears. It feels a lot quicker than I expected. Let me make sure my phone's still recording. Don't tell me my phone freaking stopped recording. Oh, I hate my freaking phone. I'm gonna have to turn in here and turn it back on. So let's go back to driving. So I guess the phone is working. We're on 10%, so hopefully my phone doesn't die. But look, you guys can see the backup camera, the 360. Here's something I don't like about the car is you can't turn on the 360-degree camera while you're driving, which is my models you could do that, and that might seem a little bit nitpicky, but sometimes, like, you know, when you're like turning right on red and there's a bunch of cars, you don't know if you have enough space, so you're gonna scrape your wheels. I turn on the 360-degree camera and that helps. And I just did that just now and it didn't turn on, so I couldn't do that. So that's one thing that actually I like that Mazda does. And let's put it in eco mode. Now, eco mode really changes up the throttle response, and that's something I noticed in the Hyundai Ioniq 5 is like, you know, it feels like in a dream. Okay, I really gotta change this this sound. Active sound design. Okay. It feels like, y'all ever have those dreams where you be driving and then you have to like drive, but you like floor it and the car barely moves? That's how this car feels in eco mode. And it's kind of nice, so you don't have to worry about, you know, accidentally pressing the gas a little bit too hard and you're gonna lurch forward. It's nice. Now let's put it in normal mode and see how the throttle response is. So you get just a little bit more throttle response in normal mode. And I'm not pressing the brakes at all. It's slowing down for me. Now let's see what mode we could put in. Okay, now we're not slowing down at all. See, I would always have the I pedal on. Oh, it rolled back a little bit, felt like. Now we're about to go on the freeway, so we're gonna put in sport for a second. Honestly, this really surprised me for a second when I pressed on the gas at how quick it was. Oh my God, look.
It's a baby.
I dare you to open the door and grab it.
I'm not gonna grab the ugly baby. It's mutilated.
I dare you.
It's gonna yell at me.
I would do it if I dare you. Do it. Do it. Do it.
I don't want to grab the baby.
If I was on the driver's side, I would have grabbed it.
Who knows what kind of diseases that thing has?
That's true. You're right. Now, ooh, it's rear wheel drive. You kind of, the back doesn't step out, but like it almost feels like a little bit like it doesn't. Going fast around these turns, you do feel its weight a little bit. Like, I felt confident and handled that well, but it wasn't, I don't want to say it was stressful, but it did feel a little bit heavy going around that turn. Now, we're on the highway. I do really like this blind spot view assist where it shows you in the lane that somebody's coming. So we're at like 60 miles an hour. And let's pretend that we gotta like gas it a little bit. Although let's wait for these cars to get out of my blind spot because we don't want to just like cut them off. I really like this blind spot view camera system. And on the highway, 225 horsepower. Oh, is that a cop? Yeah, this doesn't feel sluggish at all on highway speeds. I was kind of thinking that on highway speeds, it might feel a little bit sluggish, but it doesn't. So this has, honestly, if you don't want the extra power, I really don't think you need to go for the all-wheel drive model. Me making sure it's still filming. Now we're gonna put it in eco mode, and let's show you guys the highway drive assist. So maybe we should get out, and we'll be in the fast lane, nobody's behind us. Put on the cruise control. We're gonna put the cruise control on, let's try it on 77. That's what I always put the cruise control on. Now here's what's really nice is Hyundai's highway drive assist, it does so much for you. So if I press this button right here that looks like a steering wheel, it will basically stay in the lane for me. So I don't have to touch it at all. Okay, I guess I do. Keep hands on the steering wheel. But this has Hyundai Highway Drive Assist too. I forgot to say that. So you have to go for the SEL model if you want to get Hyundai Highway Drive Assist 2. And what the difference is between Hyundai Highway Drive Assist 1 and Hyundai Highway Drive Assist 2 is Hyundai Highway Drive Assist 2 changes lanes for you. So watch. Blah, 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 blah. Look, I'm not doing it. Watch, it'll change lanes for me. Okay, I don't know why it's not doing it.
It's like slowly doing it.
Is it even, okay, I guess it's not. It was doing it in the Ioniq 5. For some reason, I don't know why it's not wanting to do it in this car. Let me see, maybe it's not on or something, but I thought it was. That's kind of weird. Let's try it again. Okay, yeah, it's changing lanes for me. I'm not doing this. So, let's see. What? I guess I'm just drifting over. It's not changing lanes for me. I was just drifting over. I don't know why the Highway Drive Assist 2 wasn't working right now. The Hyundai Highway Drive Assist 1, it has like the adaptive cruise control and the lane keeping assist, and it like keeps you in the lane and stuff. But the Highway Drive Assist 2, it just like changes lanes for you. This also has Smart cruise control with machine learning. And you guys are like, what is machine learning? So basically, if you're an aggressive driver and you be like flooring it a lot, then this will, like, when you're doing cruise control, this will kind of drive a little bit more aggressively like you do. Another thing this has acoustic front windshield, and then, or no, it was like a solar front windshield and acoustic front glass. I don't even know. One of them was the windshield, one of them was the glass. And road noise and wind noise, honestly, this is actually pretty quiet on the highway. I don't really hear that much road noise. I mean, yeah, you hear a little bit, but like, what do you expect? It's not a Mercedes S-Class. This actually it seems pretty quiet. I know my Mazda 6 has a lot more road noise, and I like this. This just seems like a really pleasant vehicle to drive. I don't know, I'm just comfy, and it just seems like a great daily driver, and that's just something I said about the Hyundai Ioniq 5 also. Now, I want to try to see if the highway drive, I really want to get that lane change working, because I don't know why it wasn't working. Maybe we don't have a setting on. I don't know, let's see. Driving safety. Y'all are like, pay attention to the road. Don't worry, I am. Okay, let's try it again. I'm going to put on the turn signal. Let's see if it does it. I guess it's doing it, but it's not as good in this car as it is in the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Like, the Hyundai Ioniq 5, you like change lanes, and then it like gets over really quick. This one almost makes you seem like a drunk driver, low-key.
It's like slow as snail.
It is.
It's like like when you first get your like permit license and you're trying to get over for like the first time on the freeway. Horrible.
It is kind of bad, and I don't know why, because this came out after the Ioniq 5. The Ioniq 5 seems like it has a better system. So I don't know what the heck they were doing when they were calibrating this, but we're about to, let's talk about ride quality. Now, I guess we're on the freeway. I mean, we don't have the best freeways over here. They're not super smooth, but like, it's absorbing the bumps well, and like, you know, oh look, this Camry's going to cut me off. People in the comments are going to be like, seriously? But y'all know sometimes it be like that.
It's California.
It is California. That's how people in California drive. Now, I'm glad we got, let's turn on the auto wipers because it's raining. And let me make sure it's still recording, period. Honestly, I like this car. Now, let's get off the exit right here and show you guys how well although we're not going to really, there's like a circle on-ramp up here. We're not going to really be able to test out the handling that well because it's raining. But I'll go around this a little bit fast. Yeah, see, like, this handles well, and this seems like it handles a little bit better than the Ioniq 5, obviously, because the Ioniq 5 is an SUV, and this is a sedan, so I would assume this would handle better, but, you know, does this feel sporty at all? No, it kind of feels like a normal car, but I don't think that's really a bad thing, you know, I mean, yeah, some people think every car needs to be a little bit sporty, which I kind of like a sporty car, but like this is good too. This is just really comfortable, and I know this would just be a really enjoyable daily driver. Now we're in sport mode, and we're gonna go a little bit fast on this turn. Now, obviously, I don't have press cars, so I don't have this for a full week, so it's not like I could like do as fast as I want to because I don't want to, you know, you got to get used to it. But that took it a little bit well. Maybe it's because it's raining, but it seemed like we didn't slide a little bit, but like that seemed like the speed to go. If you went any faster, it might have been a little bit dangerous. But this handles well. That probably helps because this has the Pirelli P0 tires. And I think those are kind of a sporty tire. I'm not like a tire enthusiast, so don't expect me to know a bunch of stuff about tires. But look, there's a Hyundai Ioniq 5 right next to us, and I'm kind of going to go a little bit slow just so they could catch up to us, just so we could drive next to each other, because I think that's kind of cool. Let's see if they look at me. Oh, she didn't even look. She doesn't even care. She's not a car enthusiast. Now let's gas her. Yep, I don't think you need to go for the all-wheel drive model because this has more range. The rear-wheel drive has more range than the all-wheel drive model, and this has enough power. Like, y'all know me, I love a quick car. I love a fast car. I love putting my foot to the floor. But honestly, like, I don't think you need the all-wheel drive model. I kind of want to try out the all-wheel drive model, see how good it is. Oh, look, cars stopping here like they always do. See, and it's nice. All these cars are stopping, and I have the regenerative braking kicking in, so I don't even have to press the brakes coming up to this traffic. I just really like that. Let's change it to a different setting, though. And, oh wait, we got the iPedal off. And see how well, if we could just cruise in traffic. Because y'all know sometimes you be driving in traffic and then the person in front of you keeps braking and it's really annoying. I bet even with adaptive cruise control, sometimes it's annoying. But I feel like with this, you could set the regenerative braking to a certain moment and then you won't have to deal with that as much. Now, how much does this car cost? This car costs $55,000, and then with markup, this topped out around $67,000, which is actually pretty expensive. Honestly, for $67,000, I feel like there's other cars that would get $55,000. Honestly, I would choose the Hyundai Ioniq 5 over this because the Hyundai 5 has the ottoman right here, which this doesn't have. I also like the interior of the Ioniq 5 more. The Ioniq 5 feels like it's a little bit more spacious, and these two drive pretty similar. And then the Hyundai Ioniq 5 also has a heads-up display, and then it seems like the tech in the Hyundai Ioniq 5 works just a little bit better. So I think that's what I would go with. But I don't think this is a bad choice either. Overall, though, honestly, I think this is a really good vehicle, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I want to say thank you once again to All Star Hyundai of Pittsburgh for letting me review this vehicle, because I feel like I only really, most of the time I review Mazdas and Hyundais, and it's because one, I always get a Mazda as a rental car because my car always has issues, and two, Hyundai is one of the only dealerships that let me review the cars. Like, I don't know why, so many dealerships, I call so many, and then they just say, no, we don't do reviews. And like, I'm not even kidding you guys, I've literally called like 11. I've called like Subaru dealerships, Audi dealerships, Volkswagen, Honda. There's a Toyota dealership also I could do a review at, I'm pretty sure.